Aberdeenshire Council is the sixth largest council within Scotland and has a population of about 250,000 people. It's a mixture of rural and urban, mainly rural. It doesn't have a city, but it has several large towns within the bounds of Aberdeenshire. But also there's a number of areas of deprivation, rural deprivation across Aberdeenshire. That, coupled with the challenges that we face in terms of increasing population, puts pressures on the amount of services that we deliver. Therefore, there are a number of challenges in meeting attainment in child poverty and also delivering services which my own service, the Support and Advice team, cover.
When we set up the Aberdeenshire Support and Advice team, we were able to take people right from their induction as a new member of staff right through to becoming experienced professional officers, well placed to help financially vulnerable households in Aberdeenshire. The absolute vision that I have is that a customer who is financially vulnerable in Aberdeenshire can come in, talk to somebody from the team, and from that first contact go away with all of the things that they're entitled to.
The council has adopted a council plan covering a period up to 2017, and one of the strategic priorities within that plan is public sector excellence. The Aberdeenshire Support and Advice team strive to achieve that public sector excellence, and they've done that by forming a new team which is cross-council and corporate focused. It takes into account a number of different areas out with what would be perceived as finance responsibility.
Well, towards the tail end of 2015, the management team was in touch to find out whether we could offer some facilitation support. Her team had just been part of a restructure, so they had new roles and responsibilities within the team. It was all about identifying the scope and what the expectations were as well. So that sort of works from the management side of things, but also the team's expectations as well. During the workshops, the teams worked really closely together to identify what training it was that was going to be required, especially since a lot of them had new roles and responsibilities, and it was about trying to bridge the gap.
Once we had addressed the issue for permanent staff within the structure, we then filled the vacancies that we had. That resulted in 9 new financial support officers, which was roughly 36% of our complement, and 4 new admin support coordinators. Now, clearly they would have a very steep learning curve. We do say that it takes about 18 months to 2 years to fully train someone in those benefits. We needed a comprehensive training programme for those staff. We wanted it to be delivered in a way that was consistent. Because of the sheer numbers of new staff to be trained, we needed it to be one that matched the training on the legislation and theory with practical experience and actual processing, because we still had to continue to process an ever-increasing number of new claims and changes in circumstance, and we still had to deal with the volumes of callers coming through the door. It was very much about how are we going to deliver that in a way that balances the needs of the staff with the needs of the operation.
While we were training, we used an online training system called Aldo. It was a mixture of sound and video-based training. We went through all the sort of mandatory kind of training. At the end, an online test which let you know if you'd grasped what you'd learned during the videos and the kind of scripts it led you through, and then let you know if you'd passed or not passed or needed to kind of go over the other things. So yeah, it was really good.
Periodically, as a manager, I get a report of those staff who have not carried out those modules, and we can go out and remind them that it is something they have to do, and then check that they've done it.
I felt like the training has made me more confident coming to my work in the morning and being able to answer queries either on the phone with the customers or when they come into the office. The queries vary from like community care grants to housing benefit, council tax reduction to blue badge, and I feel that's all been kind of covered in the training.
Learning the information phase was helping us quickly get into the team and help them out to achieve all their objectives and targets that they had set.
What we've tried to do over a number of years is use the technology that we have within the authority, not just within the Aberdeenshire Support and Advice team, but also within other teams, to deliver training, to be more contactable, to deliver the services in a way that means that customers get what they need when they need it. Within the support and advice team, we're responsible for administering housing benefit on behalf of the UK government and council tax reduction for the Scottish government. They have got certain expectations in terms of how long it takes us to process a new claim, how long it takes us to process a change in circumstance. As a team, we set a target for processing new claims and changes. But there's no way that we can meet those targets unless every member of staff within the team that contributes to those targets knows how they're performing as individuals.
Valuation is a software system that we use to record a range of performance indicators both at team level and at staff level. So for example, we record how many new claims we process every month, both as a team and also for individual staff members. Prior to Valuation, we had all this information on various spreadsheets that were saved in various different drives, so it was really quite difficult keeping it all together. Each team within the Aberdeenshire Support and Advice team can go in and add their stats on a monthly basis. Valuation is also used to produce quarterly scorecards for staff. A scorecard is basically a record of all the work that someone's done over the last quarter. So the number of new claims they've done, the number of change of circumstances they've processed, and also how long they've taken to process them. The scorecards are given to team leaders and they discuss them with the staff. In general, staff seem to embrace them because they like to know how they're getting on. They like to know if they are actually meeting the targets that have been set. And it's a good opportunity for team leaders to sit down one-to-one with staff and just discuss how the work's going. And it's particularly good again for new starts because when someone started, they don't really know how they're getting on until they actually get that scorecard and have a conversation with their team leader.
I find the scorecards to be very helpful. I felt it identified how I was getting on, if I was doing well, or the areas that I needed to improve, and it was just good to discuss it with my line manager.
I would see the team as forward-looking, as they're very open in terms of the information that they gather and share within the council, and in terms of the way that service is delivered.
I've really enjoyed the training sessions. I quite like getting out of the office into the classroom environment.
We've a whole range of tools that we're currently using, from things that we've developed within ASAT to things that other services have developed. And there will be more tools that will help us do that in the future. The greatest satisfaction that I get as a manager is seeing staff develop and grow to a point where they're the next principal officer, the next service manager, the next head of service or director.
So I've only been with the council for approximately 3 or 4 months, but in a few years' time, maybe 5 or 10, I could see myself in the head of service seat.
I was particularly supportive of the support and advice team putting forward a submission. I think the demonstration of support for colleagues, for staff, and their improvement and their excellence has been demonstrated over the last probably 18 months. Forming a new team is never an easy and straightforward task.
The greatest asset this council has got is its staff, and investing in their skills and knowledge is really important in delivering world-class services.